Hi everybody, it's Karen here from Vintage Style Journals. Just got another beautiful journal to show you a quick look inside. Now I know that I say a quick look and it ends up being nearly an hour. My husband just said to me, just don't make it so long this time. But you know, I aim not to, but then I get chatting along and it just gets out of hand. So I'm sorry if this goes longer than I say it will. I don't mean it to necessarily, but I love this one. This is another one made with vintage wallpaper. This absolutely beautiful wallpaper. I was going to keep this one for myself because I just love it. But I decided in the end to list it on my shop on Etsy, and perhaps someone might like it to buy it, but if they don't, I might pull it off and before I get any orders maybe, and keep it for myself. But this is the front and this is the back. This is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wallpaper. And it's a trifold journal again. I'm going to be making a few trifold journals because I love the idea of having one segment full of ephemera and the other segments ready for whoever has it to actually do some journaling or creating themselves. I've put quite a bit of ephemera in this one, particularly journal cards. And again, you can see I've got another lovely lady on the front here. And this journal does have a rose theme as well as my very, very, what shall I say, my favourite, the vintage women that I just love to use them in many of my journals. So this frame here is one of the IOD frames, but instead of using the modelling paste or the glue, I've actually used a air dry clay for this one, so it's not fragile. It's quite thick and sturdy, and I've decoupaged this lady onto the front of it and just touched it up with a little bit of gold paint over the original paint colour, and using vintage laces throughout all my journals. And this bit of lace here came from a gorgeous wedding dress that I'm sure the bride who wore it didn't expect that one day it would be cut up to make journals. Anyway, so this is the front, and I've just got the ties, just like a silky type of ribbon, just stretched around the front and the back and ties up at the side. And you can see it's quite a chunky one at the front there. So we'll just open her up. And the beginning here, we have this beautiful woman on one of these lovely piano paper pockets that I've made. And inside this one, I've got a lovely little journal here. Well, it's not really a journal, I suppose. It's a little mini, but just in keeping with the theme, I've created some little pieces of ephemera around this particular design for these beautiful vintage roses. And I have these in my Etsy shop. I think I've put these in my Etsy shop. Anyway, I do have other designs with this particular rose on it that will match perfectly with this journal. But all I've done here is I've created a little cover, front and back, with a beautiful vintage rose pattern. And then I've lined it with some vintage paper that has a variety of different words in Greek and their meaning. And I've just put some Parisian stained paper in there just really more decorative, but you know, some people might want to write little notes and keep them in their bag. But that's inside there. And I'm holding my hand on this because it's really going to come over, I think. I've put a couple of these beautiful women in here, and most of them are well known to most journalers, but I tend to use them because they're just glorious designs. And I've not coffee stained, but I've Parisian essenced both sides of all of my journal cards. So whatever is in here mostly has been stained to reflect a vintage appearance. And with this one, I've put some of the modelling paste decorative moulding on her hair has like a little decorative spray of flowers. And on this one here, now there's 3 pockets in here, but I'm just going to be shoving these in to get them back in. And this is another beautiful decorative mould. Isn't she gorgeous? I love that face. So they hide in there. And on this side we have a beautiful wax seal, my favourite wax seal that my husband bought me online years ago. It's just a real fave, and I just love that 3D rose. So because it's a rose journal, I used her in this. And in here, this is a glassine bag, and it's just it's been stained, tea stained, that one. And I've just got a postcard that opens up for more journaling, and it's just, I've put the design of the wallpaper onto the postcard as well. It's quite a large postcard, but I didn't really mean it to be a postcard. I just like the carte postale, so you can write in that one. And just another few little bits of the snippet of and more journal paper, and pop that one in there. I'm going as fast as I can, so I hope it doesn't drag out too long for you. Okay, over this side we've got this beautiful, beautiful, lovely lady here. And I've also put a gorgeous little clay heart here that I've stained or painted, actually. And this is vintage lace here as well. I'll just pull her out and have a good look. So I've put a little rose in her hair and another little spray of roses around her neck, and you can see they're really quite, I'll just see if I can, they're quite thin, so they're delicate. And so on the back, if you choose to write on the back of these cards, they're not going to hinder your writing because they're lovely fine pieces. And I've put something on each of the journaling cards that I've put in this journal, so each of them will have something modelling paste on them, or clay. This is just a piece of paper that I've created with the design on it, and I've made it very faint, and then I've also painted the back in a beautiful pink so that that can be journaled upon. And a little tag here to help pull it, but it just opens up and it's got that lovely design of the roses on there. But very faint, so you've got some lovely writing paper there, and that just folds up. In here there's a pocket. This here's the pocket, and another lovely woman here with, she looks a little bit naughty with her dress down quite low, but a lovely little piece of moulding on the top of that as well. I didn't put any on that because it's a rose, so what can you say? It's just a rose. But as I said, they're quite beautifully stained, and yeah, just reflect my style, I suppose. Now this is the front signature, and each page will have something on it, and it will either have pockets or journaling cards or otherwise. And this is just another journaling card that I've put some modelling paste on here by way of a stencil, and just used my palette knife to just put some interesting bits on it. I didn't really like the way that the staining took away from the design behind here, but I was really interested in the wording here. Just wanted a little bit of a French theme throughout as well, even though there's no French ephemera to speak of. Just to have a few little words that reflect some of the French that I love. And just the back of that one. And this one here, what I've done is I've taken a photo of the front cover, as you can see. Let's pull that back over there. And then I've made a journaling card out of it, and just placed a little bit of stenciling on there as well with and that's also stained with the stencil and the modelling paste. Just go back here. She goes in there, And this is that gorgeous handmade paper. This is some of the last of it, so I don't usually use it a lot, but I've used it in my previous journal and this one. I just love it, but yeah, I can't find where I've put my stash, but I know I've got a few pieces left and it's not very much, so I'm going to be using it quite sparingly. And this is another journaling card. I've got this gorgeous woman again with another beautiful moulding on there and stained beautifully on the back. All of these pages can be journaled on. If, you know, you buy a journal to journal in, some people don't. They just buy them for decoration, which is lovely. But my journal, I personally journal in mine. So, but I love the appearance of just the beauty. It's inspiring to write nice things. And I love that. It's just gorgeous staining on that. And that goes in there. Again, some little cutouts of the beautiful roses that are on the cover here. I do have these for sale as stickers, and I think I might have them for sale in my Etsy shop as just the die cuts as well, but I'm not sure. I'd need to look, but I definitely have the stickers. And yeah, they're just gorgeous. When I first saw this wallpaper, I thought I must make some designs from that, and that's what I've come up with pretty much. And in here we've got some more of that lovely rose paper. I've left this side only for writing on as well as this, because I've made a pocket here out of that, and I'll pop some more beautiful journal paper in there. That's an A4 sheet, doubled over. I think it's A4, although it looks a little bit, yeah, it's probably a little bit small for A4, but it's beautifully stained and just lovely for being able to journal on. Little design on that, no design on that particular one, and they go back in here in that pocket. Obviously you can put whatever you want in there. I just put paper because you've got a journal. And I've made this a different, it's not quite as faint as the other one. I just feel that I didn't want all of them to be faint. I wanted some of them to have the beautiful design showing a little bit more clearly. And I've popped this design over the top of a lace piece of, well, a design really with lace. So it's just a little bit different, and that's stuck down because it's a pocket. And there you have some more writing paper. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, I don't think she's a woman. She looks like a teenager, but I just couldn't resist putting her in here. And I've made this a fold out. And I'll just show you this bookmark. I've put a beautiful moulding on there. This is actually a made with a different modelling paste, and the modelling paste is an Atelier brand that Chroma make. I thought I'll give it a shot and see if it works, and if it does then I'll buy some more. But when I went to purchase the modelling paste, I purchased a different brand, and I kind of like that brand better because it's, you can see the difference in the colours. If you want a more off-white than the Chroma brand, which is the Atelier modelling paste, or this one here, which is the Montmartre, and it's such a soft, beautiful, light one, whereas this is a little bit heavier. But I've made that into a bookmark, and that's a little pocket there, so it just goes in there. And this is a flip out, so that just flips out obviously. And I've stamped a rose design from one of the beautiful IOD stamps. It's the Rose Toile. Just in keeping with the design of the rose theme. So just put that back there, and we'll show you the other side. The other side also is a flip out, so you've got more paper here and here. And behind this beauty, I've just popped another one of those lovely journal cards, but I've put a stencil of modelling paste over that. Normally I would use texture paste, but I just love the softness of the modelling paste. It's just so beautiful, and I love the white onto the dark background there. So she's a just an attached picture there, and like a tuck more than a pocket, I suppose. So you could probably tuck more things in there if you so desire. And I love this design. This one, I think I pulled that from the Graphics Fairy site quite a few years back now, and I use them every now and then in my vintage style journals, but I just love that beautiful design. It's so pretty. So I thought I'll keep that on there, put that there, and again a flip out. And beautiful, just a stunning woman. I love that. And this is another little piece of the rose stickers and die cuts that I've got online in my shop. And just in here is just a beautiful piece of embossed paper with roses on it, of course. That goes in there. Again, back over to here, and on here we have a lovely rose design that comes off the IOD mouldings, which I'm just trying to think, I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, you've probably seen it before. So it's a clay one, this one, so it's a little bit thicker than the other ones that I've used, and I just thought it worked really well. This obviously just a bit of a belly band here. And I love that really wild stencil design over her. Not because she needed covering up, but I loved that stencil. I paid a fortune for it online, and I thought I'm going to use this thing as much as I can. So I put her behind there. And again, this is just another piece of that lovely painted paper, and with the rose design on it also. I'll just put that back there. And she is a stunning looking woman, I think. I use her quite a bit in my journals, but I've got her again. I think this is the one. Just to see if I can find it. Got things all over the place at the moment because I'm madly creating more journals, but there she is there again. It's the same woman. I do know her name, but I just can't think of it at the moment. In another thing that'll go in a different journal. And just again a piece of the wallpaper just there as a pocket to pop her inside. A bit of vintage satin on the end. This is really funky. I couldn't tell you what it's called, but I bought a whole pile of it because when I saw it online I thought, oh, that will be useful for my journals, and it's come in handy because it really tones in beautifully with the pinks throughout this journal. Again, this is obviously, it's a stained paper doily, and I put a little pocket in there, just a beautiful little bag, and I've embossed this one. This has been stained with beetroot stain. I've had quite a few of these hanging around for a few years, so I thought I'd put it in. It really works in this journal. I've got a couple of these in here. And this is just a coffee stained tag, and I've put this beautiful Surrey silk here. It's kind of like an off-white because it's not really a true white, and just some vintage material that I've attached there to it, just for interest really. Put that in there. And over here I've put some of these die cuts. I've put quite a few of these in here, so whoever purchases this journal will have a few things to play with. And again, just some of the single rose bits. They're really funky, I think, these things, so I put that in there. I think there's another one hiding under here. Little one. And this is handmade paper. I didn't make it, but I purchased it over time. I've got a bit of a stash of this one, and because it's pink I just thought it would go beautifully in this journal, so I'll pop some of that paper in there. I've got some more paper in there as in the journal as well that's grey. That might, I think I put the grey embossed paper in, so that's that side. Oh, here we go. Now this is one of the pockets that, let's see if I can show you without having to pull everything out. So it just you can see how it bends forward, and there's a few pockets. It's made out of vintage music paper that I pulled out of an old hymnal, and I've put, I think there's 3 pieces, or maybe 4, no, 3 pieces of embossed double over paper there, and there's 3 envelopes here to use out of the same sort of paper. And on the front here we've just got a another mould, a rose mould. That's pink, obviously, you can see that. But oh yeah, I just like these. I think they're really good. These little pull-out concertina type pockets. Very fragile for that one, so you need to be careful with it. Alrighty, on this side, I've printed up, there's a couple of these in this journal, just journal cards, and they've been stained as well, the same journal design. And another one of these beauties. Open up, and this is all vintage paper. Not this is Parisian stained, but this is certainly vintage. Go back in, and this is a really, really cool vintage doily that I've cut up. I'm going to be using a few of these. I purchased a few of these from a second-hand shop, and yeah, just really interesting design. I would never use them as a doily, but they go perfectly in my vintage style journals. Again, a lovely journaling card, French. There's some writing on there that I can't read, probably because I need my glasses on and I don't have them. And just put that back in there, and again, just another one of those little pockets that you can use to either stick down in the back of the journal or just, you know, put stuff in. What can I say? Alrighty, getting closer to the end now, so I'm not going to probably take as long as I thought. Just another piece of journaling paper that I've stuffed down, so it's a bit of a flip out, and can be written on the back as well as the front. And turning it over, you've got the other side here. So you can see there's quite a lot of journaling space throughout here. Lovely stained pages, and just interesting, I find. Now I made one of these. This is, just get that little bit of whatever that was on there. This is a photo frame, so I figured, you know, whoever buys this journal could probably put a lovely photo in there and keep it inside, but also it opens out to a card there, journal card. That's where the photo goes in there. I've put some white gesso over here in case you want to write over this. This is just the vintage hymn paper. And on the back, what I've done is I've just put a little bit more gesso, and I've put some texture paste on here. It's a little bit rough, but I didn't have the heart to sand it because I'll probably wreck it if I did. And so that's a nice photo frame. And I haven't put it in a band or anything. I've just popped it in here in the middle of this space so that it doesn't, I don't even know if it'd fit in a belly band. It's quite a good size. So yeah, just that's that. So I think that's pretty much all the first signature. The second signature is just basically all paper, all stained paper, and I've put a pocket here with another one of those lovely postcard designs on there, and another one of those cards in there to journal on. And this, I just love it. What I did was I took a photo of this one, that one there. You can see it's not too bad. And I've placed it, it's on a card, but I've stuck it down to the back of this, inside of this journal, and put this gorgeous frame, which comes from the IOD frame molds. And I've painted this one with raw umber, and then just really dry brush some gold over the top of it. And I just thought it made a beautiful statement on that page, because this is not the back of the journal, this is the inside of the back. So I'm just going to open this up now. Now this is the back page of the journal. I couldn't put anything over that. I just love that design there. And And then this is the last signature in the journal, and it's a little bit thinner than the others because it's when it folds in, I needed it to be quite free from any decorative bits and pieces. But then I've also put some more of these lovely cutouts in this beautiful heart and this gorgeous, gorgeous paper here. So that's the journal pretty much. So I don't think that's taken me super long. Oh, what have we got? 25 minutes. It's long enough, I suppose. So yeah, she's a bit chunky at the front, as you can see. But I just think whoever gets this journal's got a really exquisite piece of art throughout. So again, I've put one of my little journal stickers on the back of it to show that it's a vintage style journal. I've only just started using this, and this is the first one that gets it. And yeah, just a beautiful, well tied in journal as far as the design goes. And you know, I was saying to my hubby yesterday, I see a lot of things online, and it's not that I don't like them, but it's really not my style to have a journal that's got hit and miss everything in it that doesn't really fit in with the design. I like it, I'm not OCD or anything, but I like it to be, yeah, just a beautiful artwork that it's not really necessarily, it's not a junk journal, put it that way. It's a beautiful vintage style journal. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, ask me any questions if you like, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't subscribed already, that'd be really cool if you could do that. And yeah, leave me a comment if you feel up to it. Thank you so much again for watching.